Hey everyone, before we dive in, here's something really cool. You're listening to an episode created almost entirely by AI. From the script to the voice, this is part of the AI Takeover series by Blockchain DXB, where we explore what's possible when humans hand over the mic to machines. There's little to no human involvement, and that's what makes this episode so powerful. Welcome to the future of content creation. Let's get into it. This episode is powered by Amana, the region's first and fastest-growing regulated all-in-one trading and investing app. Whether you're looking to invest in U.S. stocks like Apple or Tesla, or MENA giants like Adinoc or Salik, Amana puts the financial market at your fingertips. You also get access to gold, foreign exchange, ETFs, futures, and commodities. With over 375 assets to choose from, they've got the largest crypto selection in the region. And listen, guys, if you want to build long-term wealth without thinking about it every day and want to automate your investing, just set your monthly budget, choose your preferred categories, and let Amana do the rest. No fees, no lockups, and 100% customizable. Even better, funding your account is frictionless, and funding your account is easier than ever. You can fund your account with Apple Pay, Google Pay, credit cards, instant bank deposits, and even your crypto wallet. No friction, no hassle. And if you get stuck, Amana offers 24/6 real human customer support and personalized sales assistance. Because you're part of the Blockchain DXB community, you get an exclusive offer. Register with the code BlockchainDXB and make at least one trade to receive a $100 trading bonus credited to your account the following month. So what are you waiting for? Download the Amana app now. The link and code are in the show notes. Next up, Blockchain DXB is proud to be the official media partner for one of the biggest blockchain events of the year, the Blockchain Futurist Conference. For the first time ever, North America's leading crypto event is heading to the United States, taking place at the iconic Guitar Hotel at Hard Rock in Hollywood, Florida. Alongside it is ETH Women, happening simultaneously. Expect multi-stage panels, NFT galleries, DeFi showcases, tech demos, metaverse experiences, and more, all under one roof. It's where the smartest minds in blockchain, crypto, and AI will converge. Get 25% off tickets by using the code DXB25. And yes, I'll be there with exclusive live coverage, behind-the-scenes interviews, and spotlight features on groundbreaking projects. Mark your calendars, November 5th and 6th, 2025. Visit futuristconference.com and use code DXB25. Link is in the show notes. Next up, Blockchain DXB has two more interesting partnership news to announce. First up with Future Blockchain Summit and Fintech Surge 2025. Blockchain DXB is an official media partner of Future Blockchain Summit and Fintech Surge 2025. Future Blockchain Summit is one of the biggest and oldest blockchain summit taking place in Dubai, going back to almost a decade, 2017 to be precise. The event takes place between October 12th to 15th at Dubai Harbour. This is where blockchain meets fintech to redefine the future of finance. 250 plus world-class speakers, 1,200 plus investors, live demos, product launches, and the exclusive invite-only GITEX Digital Assets Forum, all under one roof. From Web3 pioneers to fintech leaders shaping payments, banking, insurtech, AI, and DeFi, this event brings the entire ecosystem together. Startups, this is your launchpad. Get in front of top VCs, accelerators, and industry leaders. For blockchain and fintech companies, this is where connections turn into partnerships and dreams turn into exits. Register today at futureblockchainsummit.com. Don't just watch the future unfold, own your space in it. Remember, Future Blockchain Summit and Fintech Surge 2025. The registration link is in the show notes below, and see you at Dubai Harbour. Second partnership news kicking off from today is with the leading Bitcoin event organizers on this planet. And this year, Bitcoin Asia is taking things to another level. Bitcoin Asia are hosting a massive gathering this August in Hong Kong, and Blockchain DXB is proud to be an official media partner of Bitcoin Asia 2025. Taking place this August in Hong Kong, Bitcoin Asia is the region's premier Bitcoin gathering, where builders, investors, and innovators meet. It's really an honor for Blockchain DXB to be associated with Bitcoin Asia. Now at this event, expect powerful keynotes, bold conversations, and a headlining session with none other than Eric Trump. He will be sharing his vision for Bitcoin's long-term potential, its role in global finance, and Asia's massive impact on adoption, and a lot more. So listen up, guys. From infrastructure to regulation, privacy tools to lightning development, Bitcoin Asia connects global Bitcoin communities and drives innovation across cultures and markets. And as part of this partnership, you can register for the Bitcoin Asia using the code DXB. All the details are in the show notes below. If Bitcoin's in your blood, this is your event. So, register today at asia.btc and don't forget to use code DXB for 10% off your tickets. Bitcoin Asia 2025, Hong Kong is calling. Be part of the future of Bitcoin. Next up, Advanced Media is the largest distributor of professional video, photography, cinema, and broadcast accessories in the Middle East. They represent over 100 major brands, including DJI, Hasselblad, Red, and Rode. The mic I'm using to record this? Sponsored by Advanced Media. But what really sets them apart is their commitment to purpose. People, planet, and prosperity. That's not just branding, it's their actual business model. They've partnered with SAE Institute in Dubai to offer scholarships to students pursuing a bachelor's degree in filmmaking, each worth AED 50,000. They also run regular workshops, training programs, and tech showcases across the region. For more info, visit amt.t, that's amt.tv. Finally, let's talk about something every crypto investor should take seriously: security. And that's where Ledger comes in. Ledger is one of the most trusted names in crypto security. Their hardware wallets, like the Nano S Plus and Nano X, keep your assets safe by storing your private keys offline. That means you're protected against hacks, malware, and phishing attempts that can compromise online wallets. The company is headquartered in Paris and is constantly innovating. Their team works with world-class security researchers and regularly tests their own products for vulnerabilities. It's why Ledger wallets are used by millions around the world. Using a hardware wallet isn't just smart, it's essential. If you're serious about crypto, it's time to stop relying on centralized exchanges or browser wallets. Click the link in the show notes to order your Ledger wallet and support this podcast at the same time.
Okay, let's unpack this. It is November 5th, 2025, and if you've glanced at the digital asset charts today, you know the sentiment is just grim. We are definitely in a stressed, kind of chaotic market.
Grim is, yeah, that's exactly the word. I mean, look at the macro indicators. The fear and greed index, it's sitting hard at 20. That's officially extreme fear.
Ooh.
And Bitcoin is just sort of clinging on around $101,000. The pressure across the whole market, it's really intense.
So our mission today really is to look past all those red candles. We want to understand why, in the middle of all this market trauma, this, frankly, panic, there's one specific sector that's actually booming: privacy coins.
Right.
We're going to try and connect this retail investor fear to these huge institutional and geopolitical forces that are, building out the future infrastructure right now, even as prices are tanking.
And the panic isn't just, a feeling. The data shows a real flight for the exits. Since the last trading day, November 4th, we've seen just staggering outflows from investment products, ETFs especially.
Okay, staggering. How bad are we talking? Give us a sense of the scale here.
We're looking at total outflows hitting $785.6 million in just 24 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. Bitcoin, as you'd expect, took the biggest hit. $566.4 million flowed out there. But what's maybe more concerning for the broader ecosystem is Ethereum. Outflows hit $219.4 million. And that actually pushed its market cap back below that really key $400 billion psychological mark.
Ouch.
Yeah, this level of withdrawal is a very clear signal of deep structural lost confidence.
Okay, but hold on. not all of that money is necessarily like leaving the crypto space altogether, is it? We're seeing a really important counter signal in stablecoins.
Exactly. That's the sell.
Tether's USDT volume alone is, what, over $200 billion now? And the total stablecoin volume is way over $300 billion.
That's the industry's kind of safety net indicator, right? People aren't necessarily jumping ship completely. They're converting those volatile crypto holdings into stable assets.
Parking their money.
Parking it. Waiting. Maybe they're anticipating a potential swing or, a bounce in the next day or two, but they're definitely not investing new capital aggressively. It just signals maximum uncertainty.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting, kind of a twist in all this panic. The decentralized exchange, the DEX anomaly, we're seeing DEX trading volume up. It's at $23.6 billion. Now, you might think, okay, high volume, that means healthy buying activity, right?
You would think. Usually, if volume is high, you expect the total value locked, the TVL, that's the actual capital, deposited in these DeFi protocols, to at least stay flat, maybe even rise a bit. But that's not what's happening. TVL is down. It's dropped to $133.31 billion.
So high volume, low TVL, what does that mean?
Well, the combination strongly suggests that users are using DEX, but mainly to get out. They're converting assets into stablecoins or just withdrawing funds rapidly, possibly pulling liquidity out of key validator pools.
Okay, so that's really stress testing the whole DeFi ecosystem in real time.
It absolutely is not ideal, definitely not ideal.
So the market's bleeding money, users are actively getting out. But that panic, paradoxically, seems to be driving real utility somewhere else. We've seen privacy coins surge, like up over 80% in just the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's pretty dramatic.
That is not normal market behavior, especially not right now. What was the trigger? What started this, like, frantic search for digital anonymity?
Well, the big trigger event happened about 2 weeks ago, a massive enforcement action. The FBI, working with U.S. and U.K. authorities, managed to confiscate $14 billion worth of Bitcoin.
Right, I remember that. Huge news.
Huge. And that event wasn't just a headline. It was solid proof that these transparent assets, Bitcoin, Ethereum, the ones everyone thought were maybe outside government control, they're actually fully vulnerable to state seizure if the authorities can link the wallet to an owner.
And we know they're getting much better at that. Regulatory bodies, forensic firms like Elliptic, Chainalysis, they have unprecedented, really advanced visibility into these public blockchains now. The whole idea that Bitcoin is anonymous is just completely outdated. Every public transaction, traceable.
That visibility, that traceability, that's the driving force behind this sudden shift towards privacy. What's really standing out to me, though, is the changing of the guard in the privacy sector itself.
How so?
We're seeing Zcash's market cap is now at $6.99 billion. It's actually overtaken Monero's, which is at $6.44 billion.
Oh, really? Zcash flipping Monero?
Yeah. And look, the capital flow is dramatic. Zcash is up almost 36% in just the last 7 days.
Okay.
And maybe even more telling, its 24-hour trading volume is nearly 10 times higher than Monero's.
10 times. But Monero has always been like the king of privacy, the established name. Why this sudden massive flight to Zcash now?
I think it really boils down to perceived technological superiority and maybe future-proofing. Monero uses obfuscation techniques, and they're solid, don't get me wrong. But Zcash leverages zero-knowledge cryptography, ZK proofs. And that technology, it's popping up everywhere now. In scaling solutions, corporate compliance tools, investors seem to recognize ZK proofs as like the gold standard for achieving selective transparency.
Okay, selective transparency. That sounds key.
It is key,
Yeah.
especially for long-term survival in a regulated world.
So let's just clarify ZK proofs for listeners. Basically, if you're doing a transaction, ZK proofs let you prove that the transaction is valid, like you had the funds, you followed the rules, without revealing the sensitive details, like the amount or who got it.
Exactly. You prove honesty without demanding full disclosure. It's a clever mechanism.
It's like a digital safe haven, in a way.
That's a good way to put it. And the Zcash team, led by co-founder Alex G, they seem really focused on maximizing this utility for the long haul. They've proposed this major token revamp.
Oh, yeah. What's the plan?
It's designed for, sustainable economic utility.
Yeah.
They want to link the token's value directly to things like protocol fees, interoperability services, even enterprise licensing.
So creating actual revenue streams from the protocol's use.
Right. And that revenue would flow back to the community through buybacks, staking rewards, basically bootstrapping a self-sustaining ecosystem that's built on this verifiable privacy. It's a really strong signal towards enterprise-level utility.
That sounds like a smart long-term play.
It is, But, we have to note the immediate friction this creates with regulators. Like, for instance, VARA, the Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority over in Dubai, they have an outright ban on all privacy coins.
Still.
Yeah, so it really highlights that core tension, doesn't it? The retail market is screaming for privacy right now, but regulators, they're demanding compliance, and they often equate privacy with, illicit activity.
Speaking of demanding compliance, let's pivot a bit. From the sort of individual investor panic to the big institutional build-out that's also happening right now, because this is the other massive piece of the story, and there was huge news today. The launch of the Chainlink Runtime environment, CRE. It went live today.
Yeah, CRE going live is it's a really profound step toward serious enterprise adoption. Its purpose is pretty singular. Enable institutions, we're talking banks, asset managers, to build and operate truly institutional-grade smart contracts globally.
Okay, institutional grade. What does that actually mean in practice? What are the specific focus areas that make it ready for, like, big finance? It can't just be about speed.
Oh, absolutely not. Speed's just table stakes now. CRE focuses on the stuff institutions really care about. Sophisticated data management, interoperability, leveraging Chainlink CCIP, of course, compliance features, internal governance controls, and crucially, support for stablecoins and the tokenization of real-world assets, RWAs.
RWAs, yeah. That's the trillion-dollar potential everyone's eyeing.
Exactly. So Chainlink is basically building the secure highway for traditional finance to engage with Web3. But critically, it's on terms where these institutions can maintain control and satisfy all their regulatory requirements.
This is so important. You've got the retail world running to ZK proofs to hide data from the state, right? But then the institutional world is running to Chainlink to enable the compliant use of the same underlying blockchain tech for these huge markets like RWAs.
It's like a structured, compliant response to the exact same regulatory fear that's driving retail towards private swings. Two sides of the same coin, almost.
And we're seeing that infrastructure arms race play out elsewhere, too, right? Like with Ripple's activities.
Oh, definitely. Ripple is pushing hard. They're continuing that aggressive $4 billion investment drive they announced. And just now, news broke they've acquired Palisade.
They're a digital asset wallet and custody company, aren't they?
That's right.
So why is custody such a vital piece of the puzzle for Ripple right now?
Well, institutional clients need really nuanced custody solutions. It's not just one size fits all. They need everything from super secure, long-term cold storage like vaulting for reserves, all the way to high-frequency real-time transaction processing for, say, global payments. Acquiring Palisade just immediately strengthens Ripple's ability to offer that whole end-to-end service package to institutions.
Makes sense. And given Ripple already holds, what, over 75 global licenses?
Yeah, 75 plus now. This move just reinforces their position as a major license bridge between traditional finance and the decentralized world. They're playing in the long game, building the regulated pathways.
Okay, and we can't ignore the geopolitical hammer that also dropped today. The U.S. Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control, OFAC, they sanctioned a group of North Korean individuals and entities.
Another reminder of the enforcement side.
What was the reasoning there?
It was related to laundering illicit funds, including over $5 million in crypto, apparently linked directly to DPRK cybercrime operations and even weapons financing. So OFAC froze any U.S.-linked assets, banned dealings. It just demonstrates again that transparency on public chains can be weaponized for enforcement. Illicit funds, even if they try to mask them, can potentially be traced back.
Which brings us right back to that core tension driving everything we're seeing. Can privacy and compliance actually coexist? Especially in a world where states are actively hunting illicit funds and institutions are demanding ironclad regulatory guarantees.
Yeah, that's the multi-billion-dollar question, isn't it? I think the answer is probably that total absolute anonymity. That's unlikely to survive in a globally regulated financial structure. It just won't fly. But full radical transparency, that destroys necessary financial freedom, privacy, autonomy. So the future can't be either extreme. The core concept the industry seems to be rallying around now is selective transparency.
Okay, selective transparency. So transactions stay private from the general public, offering that kind of digital safe haven we talked about.
Right.
But certain specific auditable details can be securely shared with regulators, but only when it's legally required.
Exactly. And this is where ZK proofs become absolutely central. They're the linchpin for this future.
How so? Specifically for compliance?
Well, they allow a business or even an individual to provide cryptographic proof of compliance, like proving they're solvent or maybe proving they met KYC requirements for a transaction. But crucially, they can do this without having to reveal all the sensitive financial data underneath that proof.
So it's verifiable compliance, but without the massive data leakage.
Precisely. The regulator gets the assurance they need to, prevent illicit activity, but the user doesn't have to sacrifice their fundamental privacy in the process.
Okay, that sounds like the ideal balance. Is there a final piece of the tech puzzle needed to make this selective transparency really work at scale?
I think the missing link that's getting a lot of attention is decentralized identity systems. DID.
Did. Okay. How does that fit in?
Well, DID basically allows an individual to prove certain attributes about themselves, like proving you're over 18 or proving you're an accredited investor without ever exposing your underlying personal information.
So you don't show your driver's license with your address and full name.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You just prove the attribute required. Example, age 18. True. Without revealing who you are or your other private details to the system you're interacting with. It's proving what you are qualified for, not who you are.
Wow, okay.
And finding ways to scale that to make it work seamlessly. That's absolutely crucial for the future of global blockchain adoption. It really feels like we have to find and build out this middle ground.
That synthesis. Yeah, it ties the chaos together really nicely. You have this extreme fear in the retail market, which is paradoxically driving demand for sophisticated privacy tech like ZK proofs. While at the exact same time, it's forcing these institutional giants like Chainlink and Ripple to build the compliant pathways towards selective transparency using similar underlying tech.
Yeah, and if you just look at the sheer amount of resources, the brainpower, the capital being poured into both privacy technology and this institutional compliance infrastructure right now, even while the market's crashing.
Right, despite the bloodbath.
Yeah, it really suggests this current chaos isn't just a failure. It feels more like a crucial, maybe even necessary stress test for the whole industry.
A test.
A test to see if the industry can successfully integrate this idea, this practice of selective transparency as its standard way of operating. If it can, well, then crypto won't just survive global regulation. It'll finally be ready for true global financial adoption.
And that, for you, is today's deep dive. Here's maybe a provocative thought to leave you with, building on that DD idea.
Okay.
If decentralized identity systems really do take off and they let us prove attributes without revealing our core personal details, could our verified private digital identity eventually become like the single most valuable asset we actually possess? Maybe even more valuable than the digital currency we hold in our wallets.
That's something to chew on.
We'll leave you with that one. Thanks for tuning in.